Welcome to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable, featuring Cara Delane and Ted Ings. This episode is brought to you by BG Products, partners beyond products. And now for your hosts, Ted Ings and Cara Delane.
Welcome, everyone, to After Dark at the Fixed Ops Roundtable. And I am glad I'm not the only one wearing a wig tonight, Ted. I assume that's a wig. Is it, Don?
Actually, it's not a wig. I normally wear a shorter wig throughout the rest of the day. But yeah, I actually get to be natural tonight.
Ah.
Yeah, you notice I don't have a hat on. Normally I have a hat on.
Normally you would have a hat, yes. All right. So, hey, welcome everybody. Cara, I was going to say that intro never gets old with Michael Cirillo. You know, every time I hear that, you know, like, wow, right? Here comes the show. So
It's like entering a boxing match or something. I just get so hyped up every time.
Yep, I love it. So tonight we have the great Don Brady is with us. We're honored to have both him and Ellen Haney from Jeff Schmidt Automotive Group. Ellen, welcome to After Dark.
Thank you.
Wow, Don, how are you doing that? I guess we're live somehow in the chat, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I did it before the show came on. So
Okay. All right. Well, Michelle, happy Wednesday to you as well, Superhuman. And you got some great superhumans here as well. And Cara, so we're live tonight, bringing in the chat, right?
We are. We're live on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. So share the video, everyone, and comment down below. And don't forget, we're going to have some trivia at the end of the show tonight. So we'll be expecting everyone to participate and help our guests tonight.
80s trivia, right?
Oh, yeah.
I really like that picture that we had on social media today with BG Products, Partners Beyond Products, Cara. That was a great picture with some friends from our favorite company.
I know. Those two are absolutely wonderful. BG Products is obviously incredible, and we always like to thank them for everything they do for the Fixed Ops Roundtable, our After Dark show, and what they do for the automotive industry. So two great guys, and I'm glad that I finally got a picture with both of them.
And I think it's, high time that we put the focus on BG. So stay tuned, everybody. We might have a lot in the works going on with BG here very shortly, including possibly a trip out there. So we're looking forward to that. So again, we're sponsored tonight, After Dark, exclusively by BG Products, Partners Beyond Products. And that's who they are. So we are dressed up for the 80s. We got the 80s trivia, and that's because we have a big 80s show, right, Cara, coming up in just a couple of weeks now.
Yes, we're finally rounding the corner, I feel like, Ted, happening on May 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th. We are going back to the 80s with the Fixed Ops Roundtable. And that's why we're all dressed up in our wigs and our 80s outfits. And hopefully everyone else watching will join in on all of the fun. And you can get your complimentary tickets at fixedopsroundtable.com.
Everyone is looking great. Brendan O'Brien. Brendan, we need to see you here on the After Dark show. And I think we need to see Brendan dressed up in the 80s style. What do you think, Cara?
I think you should.
Well, David O'Brien, which I understand, Brendan, is a relative of yours. He did a magnificent job with the wig and the glasses, and he even had the chains, right?
Man, everybody's getting into it. I've seen Don in a few outfits.
yeah, he looked good.
Yeah. All right. So Don, you were in the news today. We saw a big post on social media. Good evening, Dan. Don, what's going on there? You're entering into a new realm there in Ohio.
Well, it's kind of funny. It's I spent 22 years in the car business, working from salesperson to general manager. Got out of that about 3.5 years ago. I've been, as everybody knows, I ship cars all over the country for Ship Your Car Now. That's not going to stop. That's going to continue. But I'm pretty excited that I was able to announce today that I did submit my packet to the state of Ohio to become a used car dealer in Ohio. So it feels good because I'm going to really get involved with Ohio Independent Auto Dealers Association as well as NIADA. And I'm hoping I can help car dealers even more across the country and actually walk in their shoes, in these independent used car dealer shoes. So I'm excited.
And you got a fellow Buckeye here in the chat. Tony Owens is in Ohio as well.
Yes,
Don.
he is. Tony, I love Tony.
Yeah, he's always got these projects he's working on, right? So some for a long time, Ellen, right? That we've seen.
I think he even nicknames them money pits.
I love it, but Don, I love his license plate. Have you seen it? It
Mhm.
says fixed ops, right?
Yes. Mine says ship them. We always compare that anytime.
So Don, are you gonna? I'm not familiar with in Ohio. Will you be able to have like a dealer plate now, being a dealer?
I will. So it'll be the first time. I've never had lower than plate number 2. So plate number 1 will be kind of exciting to have, although I don't really have a car to put it on yet. So once I get my license, then I'm going to start being able to buy cars to sell. So, and then I'll have something to put a dealer plate on. But yes, I will have plate number 1, dealer plate. So
All right.
kind of neat.
Robert Miggs, good to see you tonight. Let's get it going. And Ellen, Robert was on that panel earlier today that we did with parts, and that was an amazing panel. And Ellen, how's it going there at Jeff Schmidt?
It's going pretty good. We're getting ready. Obviously, the end of the month is coming up here, and we're definitely most of the time you run into the end of the month and you're kind of like, if anything could go wrong, it will go wrong at the end of the month. And that's kind of where we're feeling it right now. But we always come back. We always overcome it. So it's going to be all right.
Strong finish, right? For the end of
Yes.
Kara, you remember the end of the month, right?
Oh, yeah. It was always late nights, early mornings, but all the chaos seemed to come together right there at the end. And through all of the close, everybody finally got to breathe again.
Yes.
Ellen, isn't it amazing? We have 31 days in a month, and it always comes down to the very end, right?
Always. Well, and our Nissan was down all day today. So we were working without catalogs and without being able to place regular orders. So we fought it all day long.
Yeah, my team's always got sick of me running around saying every day is the last day of the month. That excitement on the last day of the month, and I do miss that, but I really enjoyed having it. If you could get that somehow every single day, how much better your bottom line would look if every day was truly the last day of the month.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Agreed.
And congratulations, both of you are big on social media. It's hard, not to see Don Brady like everywhere we look on social media. How do you do that?
I commit a lot of time to it, but I really treat social media like, the people on there are my family and close friends. I mean, all 38,000 of them between the two platforms. And I spend more time liking their post, putting my little emoji and tree on their post.
Tree.
And I do the tree because every time I ship a car, I plant a tree in their honor. So that's what I just started doing that actually last month, or actually the end of January. But I do that, and I try to congratulate people when they get a new job and tell them happy birthday. And I spend more time lifting everybody around me up and celebrating with them. And then I feel like, the social media karma will come back to help me then.
Absolutely.
That says a lot. Kara, does he leave the emoji on your post too, right?
He does. And I was actually going to ask him tonight what the tree stood for now. So I'm glad that you explained that. But I do have to say, Dawn, I'm always dressing up. Tony calls me the chameleon. But I will say, you give me a run for my money with dressing up in crazy outfits on social media.
Yeah, but you know what? And it's weird because I love doing it. It's so much fun. And I'm actually, a lot of people don't realize this, but I'm a very shy person. So when people meet me, they're like, "You're not shy," but I fight through that shyness to do the things that I do. And when I put on a costume, like I could put this on, I could probably go sing at a club now with these glasses on. I feel like I'm, different persona, but I'm having so much fun out there, and I have for over 3 years, which time flies.
Kara fights through that shyness as well. Kara, I'm thinking back, with the outfits. When was the first event that you actually had a wardrobe change or did something, with a chameleon type character?
Man, I think it might have been Jumanji.
Jumanji, yeah.
And then I know the race car outfits were early on too, but I only had one of those. But I think Jumanji might have been the first one that I really just went all out and started acting crazy, all dressed up.
Well,
so Ellen, there's a lot of events that people can go to and conferences, right? In automotive and in other, personal development things, but I think we stand out a little bit, right? With these themes and with the costumes and the music, it is a little bit different, right?
Yeah, it is different. I definitely, it kind of drew me more towards you guys. Like after Kaylee kind of was talking about it and I was watching you guys and watching all the panels. I spent a whole day at work just watching these panels because I was brand new to it. And it was just one of those things where I was like, personally, I enjoy it. I love it. I talk about them all the time. I got people at work who, they're supporting me and they want to watch just because I talk about the people and the things that you guys do. And it's fun.
And that lady in the chat right there, right before Tony Owens, and Michelle McLean is responsible for a lot of the themes. Okay. These the Jumanji that Kara just mentioned, the race car stuff, what we have going on now with Back to the 80s, certainly Roaring 20s, right? But it was Kara who really brought a lot of them to life, with these outfits and these different characters. And Tony calls her the chameleon. And Kara, it does stand out. I got to say that.
It does. And I think that's what makes the roundtable so much fun. And like Ellen was saying, that's what makes it attractive to people that are unfamiliar with it and want to be a part of it, is because it's so different. It gives a little different spin to fixed stops in the automotive industry. And we have fun with everything that we're doing.
Ellen, why has parts been overlooked for so long? When I say overlooked, I mean, we talk about dealership, salespeople, managers, front end, and then of course service gets, some mention, right? But, until recently, until things like Kaylee Filio, she started popping up, right, and putting a face on parts. It's really been like kind of behind the wall up until, fairly recently.
Yeah, I mean, personally with parts, I've been inside the industry since I was little. My dad's been doing this for 30 years. So I've been in and out of the dealerships, and over time, it just seems that overall parts has just always been kind of in the background because I feel like most of us are kind of quieter people. We kind of like to just kind of sit back and like kind of support things and just kind of watch everything. But recently, and it's become more of at least at our dealership, it's more of a support system for the other departments. And we take pride in that, really at the end of the day. And it's just kind of overcoming a whole lot of different obstacles. Different types of personalities have been coming in and kind of changing it up. We're at our dealership, our departments are we're kind of half and half split. We've got a lot of experienced parts people, and then we've got a lot of new faces because most of them stay there for so long. A lot of people in this industry stay in the industry. They never get out. So we're kind of up and coming and retraining people, and we've got a lot of different personalities coming in, and they're a lot of fun.
And I'm just acknowledging, I see a lot of good friends, Kara, in the chat, coming in. Of course, Michelle, Don Brady is a beast, right? He's amazing. I see a Cloud in there. I see a lot of good friends. Ellen, you mentioned your father was in the business. What did he do? And is that how you eventually got in?
Yeah, so he's actually also a parts manager. He's the parts manager at our Chevrolet store. But yeah, he's been doing it for 30 years. And even before that, he was working on cars when he was younger. And I kind of slipped and fell into it. He was in a motorcycle accident and he needed a way to work because he wasn't able to drive at the time. And his boss I've known since I was also born. And I started as a driver, and that kind of just worked my way up from there.
Wow. Don, look at the comment here from Joe Halpert. I do the same thing Don Brady just described. I'm proud to admit I got it from him. How about that?
That makes me feel good. The more people you lift up, the better things go. So it's just the way it is. So thank you for that compliment.
And by the way, your attitude shows through, Don. Everybody's got a choice every day, and that's the attitude, right? And you can't let other people determine your attitude, especially in the car business, because all it takes is a couple people in the morning, and your attitude could go sideways. And, it's happened to all of us, even the best of us, right?
Yeah, and I get messages on my post all the time that I love reading your posts. They make me smile, I cheer people up, and those things that means a lot. I mean, and I love the car business, and I think people know that about me too. There's really not a better industry on the planet, and it's the entire dealership. I mean, I've got really good connections and friends on LinkedIn and Facebook, and from porters all the way up to general managers, and those porters mean just as much as the general managers as far as I'm concerned. So, love it.
Wow. Kara, Leon O'Brien. That sounds like a familiar name to me.
Yes, talking about acting crazy, dressing up, and doing cool videos. This guy right here used to be my GSM at our Ford store in Madisonville, Texas. And he's talking about legs and wheels. He's in a wheelchair and he would dance with me in all of my TikToks and we would get tons of views. We had the most fun doing it. And by far, he's the person that I miss the most at the dealerships. I love you, Leon. He's an amazing GSM, an amazing guy to work for Ford. And just honestly, like what Don was saying, he brightens everyone's day every single day.
Yeah.
I saw one of those TikTok videos with you and him. I saw one of those. It was awesome.
Yeah. Great stuff. Leon, thank you so much. You mean a lot to Kara. And, we're really grateful to have you on tonight at the Roundtable. Kara, maybe we've got to get Leon someday on the show, right?
Oh, absolutely. He would love that. He's always
he's not shy, no?
Oh, no. And he would be on here making everybody laugh for sure. He always has a story to tell, and he's definitely going to make somebody laugh about every second of every day. So I'm sure it would be a hilarious show if he was on here.
All right. Let's see if we can put that together. Don, I love that mullet, by the way.
Yeah, I was just thinking, man, this would be so nice. I mean, I would get a haircut right away, but it's nice, having hair.
So I see Tiffany and Sean, or Sean and Tiffany Kingery on there. I'm never quite sure if that's Mrs. Kingery or Mr. Kingery or both of them in there on the chat. But, big shout out to Michigan. It's Wisconsin. Wait, great costumes coming soon. Okay, yeah. We saw a couple today from Sean. Sean had a quick change of wardrobe, Kara. I sent you some photos of that.
I loved his background today too. I mean, Sean was really getting into it. I feel like I need to step up my game, Ted.
He was in like Fixed Ops Roundtable Central, right? I mean, he was like in the command center.
Right.
I think everybody needs one of these too.
Oh yeah. I was talking to Owen Moon, by the way. I don't know if Owen's in the chat or not yet, but Owen had that great post over the weekend that Michelle, you put together, right? And then Don, yours was right behind it, right? And Owen said he had so many compliments on it. And then he saw yours on there and you had the boombox, right? You're holding up.
Yep. Yeah, that was fun. This is that show and what are the dates? May what? 15?
What are the dates again, Kara? Hold on, Eric. This is a shameless plug. Go ahead.
15th through the 18th, May 15th, 16th, 17th, and 18th.
Well, I know that Eric Barbosa, Eric, I know you remember the 80s, okay? So maybe we got to get you. Do you think Eric would be shy to dress up in a wig, Kara?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
And I think if you guys remember when I dressed up as Princess Leia.
Yes.
I had the wig.
Yes.
Eric was wearing it around and he's a bald guy. So it was hilarious. And he ended up like swinging it around. I thought he was going to mess it up. I was like, give me my wig back.
Did you use just one wig for that was like a long event. Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Wow.
I don't think I might have ordered a second one towards the end, but it held up pretty good.
All right. Even with Eric.
Yep. Even with Eric running around with it.
All right. So Eric, if you're listening, we'd love to, I know you're going to be on the 80s show, but definitely, with the wig, if you could pull that off. So if Mr. Kavanagh doesn't mind, right? I don't want to do anything to.
I'll ship Eric a wig.
All right, we'll ship the wig. All right, sounds good. Daryl, tell hello as well, and Tony Owens, you're on the show as well. I know that you got a great segment coming up with Kara and with Ed Roberts and with Tully Williams, and you've been looking forward to that. So great stuff. And Anthony Santangelo is going to be on the show as well. Awesome. Kara, you got some trivia coming up tonight. Is it too early for that, or?
It's never too early for trivia. I have 3 trivia questions again, if our guests are ready. Ellen, Don, feel like you can answer some trivia questions tonight?
I feel like I might have a little bit of an advantage because Miss Ellen says that she doesn't know anything about the 80s, or she's heard about the 80s.
Okay.
All right. Well, you know what? It hasn't always worked out that way. Sometimes those of us in the 80s. All right.
We'll test it out. We'll see. All right. Here is The first one. And if you're watching us live tonight, comment down below if you know the answer to these questions. Who was the best-selling musical artist of the 80s? Madonna, Michael Jackson, or Queen?
I'm going to say Michael Jackson.
Don, it's got to be Madonna or Michael Jackson, right?
You know, I don't know. I was thinking Queen.
Ooh.
Oh, really? Okay, well.
I mean, I could be wrong. I know they were in the 70s too, I think. But
Let's get some audience feedback on that.
see.
Put it up again, Kara. Put up the question and the answers again.
A bunch of people are saying B.
Michael Jackson, yeah.
We're getting a lot of B, and the B is correct. It is Michael Jackson.
Wow.
See, you're right, Ted. That goes to Ellen.
All right. Now, wasn't Michael Jackson? He was originally from the Jackson 5. They were from somewhere in where? Was it in Michigan or Ohio or Indiana?
Yeah, I'm not real sure.
Okay. Anyway, all right.
All right, y'all ready for number 2 here? Who was the president of the United States in 1982? Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan, or George Bush?
Easy.
Oh, you know it?
Yeah, of course.
Dawn, Ellen, any guesses?
A?
I'm gonna say B, Ronald Reagan.
Yeah, this is big Ronald Reagan.
It is Ronald Reagan. Y'all are right.
Come on, Michelle McLean, Jimmy Carter. Give me a break.
Her and I guess the same.
And that was actually hard for me because
Really?
when Jimmy Carter was president, I was actually not in the United States. I was an Army brat in Panama.
Oh, wow.
Oh wow, sure, yeah.
But I knew he was the president because I was there when he gave the Panama Canal back to the Panamanians.
Yes, that's happened during Carter. Yeah, I
Yes.
remember that. Yeah, it was like
All
a
right.
99-year thing, right? And then they gave it back.
Yep, and we saw the decline almost immediately. Not that we want to talk politics, but
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well, we'll talk offline about that. All right. Brittany Millhouse, welcome. All right. So we're honored to have you and your family with us at the round table as well. Michelle, you were only 1 in 1982. Were you really, Michelle? Wow.
She's like, I don't know. I was only 1.
And Kara, you were not even 1. So
I wasn't even thought of, I think.
no, not yet. All right. So how are we doing so far? We have 2 questions, and Don, you're 2 for 2, right?
no,
Yeah.
I'm 1-1. I'm 1-1.
1 and 1.
All right.
Okay.
See if you can make it up on this last one. Which Madonna song was not released in the 80s? Material Girl, Papa Don't Preach, or Vogue?
Another easy
Vogue.
one, Ellen.
I say Vogue. See,
Yeah, let's see. Vote.
What do you think, Ellen?
I'm going to piggyback. I'm going to go off C.
Y'all are right. It's C. It was Vogue, and that one came out in 1990.
See, Leon knows.
just barely out of the 80s.
Yeah.
Michelle got it right.
Sean Butler got it right.
I'll be real honest. After my karaoke trivia the first time, if I didn't make a comeback with songs, my mom was probably going to send me a very interesting text message.
So, Kara, I see Joe. I think, yes, you're right. I see David Lucas is in the chat from Down Under. And
Yep.
I talked to David yesterday, and he is going to be joining us at After Dark in early May. He's going away in April, but we got him booked. And do you remember the last time that David was on, what we did?
Oh, how could I forget, Ted? The Vegemite. If y'all have never tried Vegemite, don't. That's all I have to say. It is not good. I've tried it twice in my life, and twice is enough.
Tony Owens, you were with us, right? You remember that. So I got to run that clip again. Our faces were pretty priceless, when we ate that. So
I think yours was worse than mine, Ted.
it was really bad, Kara. I mean, I knew it was going to be awful, but it was beyond that. So
It was not good. It doesn't even smell good. I'm thinking of it right now, and I want to gag.
all right. So anyway, David is coming back on, and we have something special lined up. And I haven't shared that with you yet, Kara, but it's going to be another thing to remember. So Yes, David, that will be 4 days of great information. And I guess in Australia, they have he has a name for this holiday. It's like we would call it a vacation, but he's going on like a month-long Kara vacation.
Oh,
Month-long.
Holiday?
wow.
Just a holiday?
Yeah.
David, what is the term? It's some
I think they say they call it a holiday.
see if he puts it in the chat, but I
Wow.
was taken by the language. So Kara, do you miss being in Australia? You like that trip, right?
Oh, I love Australia. I love New Zealand. I actually met up with one of our friends from New Zealand when I was home this past weekend. And either one of those places I would absolutely live in. I didn't want to come back from either one. They're beautiful. The food is great. The people are great. And it's just a slower paced lifestyle. It's really nice.
But not so much the Vegemite.
No. And the coffee wasn't the best.
Really?
Which is weird. They did have Starbucks. I found those finally. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I know Don Brady, you found the Starbucks everywhere, right?
Yeah, well, they're my satellite offices, so they're important to me. I have to visit them everywhere I go.
All right. So Don, what's in the near future for you? What do you got going? You got the used car thing going.
Yep.
You got ship your car now.
Yep, I'm shipping cars every single day, helping dealers with that. And mid-April to mid-May, I'm going to be on the road. And actually, it's exciting. I'm going to be driving a 39-foot RV down to North Carolina for a show, and then on to Digital Dealer in Tampa. But I'll be gone for about 30 days. And everybody's going to get to see. If you haven't seen the movie RV with Robin Williams, just follow my post because there'll probably be some similarities. Not, it's a 39-foot Class A, so it's, it's a big vehicle.
All right.
You'll be in Florida then in May sometime, right?
I will be, and I'm hoping that I might get to run into some people that I know down there at some car dealerships. So,
okay, perhaps we'll have to check that schedule with you and just take a look at that. So, you never know what could be in store. So I like that. So, Kara, you got a lot of stuff up your sleeve. You got a lot of things planned, don't you?
Oh, yeah. I am running down to an retro studio down in Houston tomorrow. So there's going to be some really cool content coming your guys' way. Yep. I'm going to pack all my outfits, all my wigs. Hair will be crimped and bring in a wonderful producer with me. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun, I think.
All right.
That sounds fun.
Ellen, are you ready for this 80s thing?
I'm definitely ready for the 80s thing. I'm excited to be on the panel with Michelle McLean, and then I get to hang out with you and we get to talk about some employee retention, and I think it's going to be pretty exciting. Michelle's I'm interested in. I'm a little lightly educated on branding, but I got a hold of our company president and kind of got our mission statement so I can work off of it. So it's definitely something out of my comfort zone, but I'm excited.
Michelle can really, she's got this branding thing down, Ellen. She's a great teacher and she's a great doer. Right. So, Michelle, we learn from you constantly. And I like some of the stuff that you've been sending over, in the last couple of days as well. So she's got a lot of ideas and the colors and the look and the message and keeping it simple. So that should be a great panel. I've seen some of the names you have on that panel as well, Ellen. So
exciting.
All right. Well, everybody, thank you so much for tonight. This is great. We have to come back and do it again. So.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for inviting me. This has been a lot of fun, as always.
Yes, thank you.
Don, we always have you for the special occasions, right? You're here for Santa Claus and, you know. And now
love that too.
Yep.
Well, thank you guys for being on with us tonight, playing my trivia games with me. And we're getting excited for Back to the 80s. Thank you, everyone, for watching and commenting and sharing tonight with us. We will see everybody on Monday at 8 p.m.
Take care.